Good morning, family of life, influencers, leaders. I am so very, very excited this morning. I had to take just a quick moment and put together a little update of some things that's going on. I mentioned on Tuesday that there were some things that was taking place that I could not mention just because all the ducks were not in a row, the proverbial I's dotted, T's crossed. I've just received final confirmation from the United Pentecostal Church International, of whom we proudly are a part, that we have been included into what is called the Intracultural Missionary Plan. How that works is this. You're familiar more than likely with missionaries like we had Wednesday night. What takes place is they do what's called a deputation, which is anywhere from 16, 18 months to a couple of years that they travel the United States, Canada, and they do services like they did for us Wednesday night. The Brother and Sister Miller did for us Wednesday night. In this process, they're raising funds, raising a budget so that they can live for the next 4 years in the country of their burden, their passion. In this case, it would be in India, and not have to worry about working a job. Many places, because of their status, they can't work a job because of the type of visa that they get. And so that's how they support themselves. About 3 years ago, the United Pentecostal Church started an intracultural missionary program, realizing that we have cities all across America that have incredibly large populations of non-English speaking people in them. Actually, Brother Tekla Marian several years ago, who is in Africa, a native pastor in Africa, began to send missionaries to cities like Georgia and San Francisco because of the large African populations there. So that's kind of a unique twist. Africa sending missionaries to America, but specifically to reach the African people. This has been a highly successful program. One man by the name of Brother Forpa takes care of the African missionaries, reaching African people here. How it works is, rather than they raise their budget 2-4 years, however long it takes, they raise their budget, and then they travel not overseas, but to a city in America that has a large population of their native tongue, and they work with a local church, and they start churches in that native tongue in that city. Brother Forpa is doing the African ministry. He has, in 3 years, started over 30 churches. All but one of those churches are not only still in existence, but are thriving. Some of them run into the hundreds already. And it's just an incredible program. I know Brother Forpa personally. He's a very good man, very good man. Brother Forpa is scheduled 3 years out. If we was to have our application on the desk right now for application, it would be 3 years before he could get here. Long story short, is Tuesday, I was talking with Brother Hanscom, who is over the multicultural ministries. We've had Brother Hanscom preach for several times, personal friend and mentor of mine. And Brother Hanscom and I began to talk. The Holy Ghost came into our conversation, and the long story short is we have been asked to receive Brother Forpa to work with our African people, and rather than having to wait 2.5 to 3 years before he could get here, Brother Hansom's direct words were, he's wrapping up in Iowa now, which, by the way, he was in Iowa for 60 days and started 6 churches in Iowa in 60 days. And just a phenomenal man. But he's wrapping up in Iowa. The month of May, he's going to be in Pennsylvania. And in the month of June 2016, he is going to be in the city of Lincoln, Nebraska, working with us to reach into our African-speaking community and to raise up churches here in our great city. This is an amazing thing. I literally, I'm not exaggerating. I can show you the paperwork. I have it sitting on my desk. I filled out the paperwork 3 years ago, but allowed pathetic excuses not to send that application in. And now in the timing of God, God has just worked it all out. And Brother Forpa will be here. It costs the church not 1 cent. His whole budget is raised. He will get his own apartment, pay for it himself, and work with the French-speaking the African people. He speaks French, Swahili, several different languages, and he will be raising churches. Daughter works in Lincoln under Family of Life. The Ravens are coming. This is where we're at. It's not a coincidence that we've met these two French-speaking African pastors, Brother Marcel and Brother Alex, whom you haven't met, but I am developing a relationship with him. He pastors a church of, by his own words, of between 200 and 250 French-speaking African people here in town. Trinitarian. They do not know the truth, but he is very inquisitive, has a lot of questions, and he is in the process, I believe, of God showing him who he is and what his name is and the power of the Holy Ghost. And so be in prayer for this. Super, super, super important. Be in prayer for this. Gird up the loins of your mind, protect yourself, understand and know that we are in the will of God. And all of these things, all the things are happening because it's God's time. I love you. I cannot even process the things that have gone on in the Spirit in this last little while. Believing God, thanking God. We will talk to you soon. God bless you.